We played together all the time when we were young, and he would always tell me I was playing flat and dragging. So now I rush and I play sharp. Like, ha! Never drag again. And yes. So, Hilda, I'm glad you're here. This is my brother, Andy. How, are you 101 now? 101? So good. Yes, that's great. So I like to paint and I play the cello. And my joke is, if you think I play cello badly, it's like, but look, I paint. And if you think I paint not that well, it's like, but I can play the cello also. And I love these suites. There are 6 Bach suites, and the suites are like the Bible of the cello. We all play them. They were written in the early 1700s by Bach, and I've been playing them probably for more than 50 years, and I'm always working on them all the time. And I played this whole thing in the botanical gardens a while ago, and I practiced it so much that afterwards my husband said, so you're done with that? like you're not going to play that anymore? And I was like, no, I'll be playing it my whole life, like always, and I'll never be finished with it. It's always. Pablo Casals, when he was 13, found the music to the suites in an old music shop, and nobody really knew about them. People didn't play them, and he realized that they were just magnificent and worked on them, and he was the first person to play them. And what's really odd is how really things weren't written for the cello at that time, and nobody wrote for a solo cello for years. And it's kind of a ridiculous idea to have just play the cello because we just play one line. We play like. So how can I play the harmony too? How can I imply? So when I play the suite, it's like the notes are implying harmony. So even though I'm mostly playing one note at a time, you hear things in it if I bring things out the right way. So in my mind, I might be hearing like, in the beginning I might be hearing like, slow movement, there are chords, but I can't really play like 3 notes at a time. It would just sound like horrible. So I have to sort of break it up. But it's a chord. So I'm playing all the notes of the chord, but sort of playing around. And then to make it more interesting, there are lots of little things like trills, like ornaments, like that this voice. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about Bach's wife, because all the time that I was playing cello, we had all these different editions of the piece. And like, which edition do you play? Well, we don't know what the bowing is, and we don't know if these notes are right, because his wife was very sloppy, and she made a lot of mistakes. And so people don't really know what the right notes were. And I was like, what a loser she was, just right. She wasn't careful, and now we don't know what notes to play. And then later, I started to read about her. She married Bach when she was 20 years old. She was a professional singer and a wonderful keyboard player. She took on his 4 children, bore him 13 more children, and copied his music out, ran his music business, raised his children, helped him with everything he did, was left a widow when she was about 50 years old. Nobody ever painted her picture. 17 children, nobody had her picture made, there's no record of her. I thought, and what we know about her is that she wasn't careful when she copied these pieces out. So I painted her, I did a little thing, and apparently what we know about her is she loved yellow flowers. So when I brought yellow roses. And then coincidentally, don't know why. So here I have painted her, as I imagine her, trying to copy out with all her many children, nagging her and pregnant, and it's my tribute to her. So I've made a painting for each movement, and later, if you want to, or while I'm playing, feel free to come up and look at things. It won't bother me at all. It'll make me feel better. If you're talking or moving or whatever, it's fine with me. And I love to play cello, but I hate to perform on the cello. Like, I just don't like it. So anything you want to do is fine with me. This is what I made for the first suite. And it always reminds me of going along in a river. And I was thinking, there's Yo-Yo-Ma in a little swan boat going ahead of me, and there's me like, wait for me, Yo-Yo-Ma, wait for me, I'm coming along too. And even though I'm not Yo-Yo-Ma, I play the same music he plays. I play the same instrument, the same size of instrument. It's not like I have like a little tiny cello. Like, I play the same instrument he plays. And when he came to visit and play with our orchestra, he let all of us play his cello. So I have played his cello, and he has sat on my cello chair, which you'll see over there. So I feel connected with him in many, many ways. And the other way I feel connected with him is that all the time I was in college, my teacher was very strict, and he would say, the music is not for you to enjoy. It's for your audience to enjoy. You don't enjoy your music. And then when I got my master's degree, I finally saw Yo-Yo-Ma in person, and he was like, just playing and smiling and laughing and looking at the orchestra, and I thought, I have been had. Like, it was so joyous. And so now I give myself permission to be emotional or whatever way I want to be. So this is the prelude, and it is definitely not a dance. It's sort of an ecstatic voyage. I love the ending of it. It feels like for a while, like it's kind of just going along, and then you'll see it just grows. And I used to think this piece lasted about 20 minutes, but this movement is about like 2 minutes for somehow in my mind, because there's so much in it. I had the feeling that it was endless, but it's really not. So this is the prelude to the first suite. you know, I grew up in a very musical family. My parents sang in a choir together in the university. My parents, I do believe, woke me up in 1964 in the dead sleep to make me watch the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. It's one of my first memories. And my mother, even though she's 89, would still try to carry my cello around. She took just constantly driving me with my cello places and picking it up and doing without it and making sure that I could have great teachers and a good instrument and everything. So kudos to my mom. The Allemande was supposed to be a dance, and the great cellist Stephen Isserlis said, well, it's not singable and it's not danceable. And someone else said, if the cello could write a piece for itself, it would write this suite for itself, because it just makes sense on the cello. But really, if you tried to sing it, it would be just ridiculous. It's really notey, but for me, it just feels like kind of like a walk or something. It feels like moments of rest, and then let's go some more. Each of the movements is supposed to be repeated, but when I see people play this piece and they take the repeat, I'm like, we already heard that. So I'm not going to take all these repeats. If you want to hear anything at the end over again, I'm happy to do it. But I just feel like it's just not necessary at this point. So this is the Allemande, and in Spanish, Alemán it's German, so it's a German dance. And this next movement is called the courante. It's dance in 3. And this one reminds me of a conversation between two people. Like, it's if I'm just too, like, what? Hey. Like, one voice is saying something, and the other one is just commenting, like, I'm with you, I'm here. And it just makes me laugh, that it feels like a little conversation. So the saraband is slow 3, and for some reason, the saraband was banned in Italy and Spain because it was deemed as too sexy by the church. And I don't see it, but maybe you will. And I played this for my uncle's funeral many years ago, and I thought everyone would love it and would be very moved. And my aunt came up and said, "Why did you play that sad music?" Aunt Ruth. If I had known then, I could have said, "No, it's sexy. It's sexy." But I didn't know. I didn't know at the time. I've only recently found out about the banning of the saraband. I do believe it was the dance that was banned. Probably the dance was too sexy, not just the music, not just the music. That's what I think. The next is a minuet, minuet 1 and minuet 2. And when I was learning cello, they would say, minuet 1 is in a major key and it's happy, and minuet 2 is in a minor key, so it's sad. And I don't see it either. And I made a little artwork about why is the minor sad? Why can't, it's just a character. It's just a different character. Maybe more solemn. Maybe we don't have to be happy all the time. Maybe it's just okay to be a little bit somber. So we start out with a minuet. Thank you. So minuets, you'll see that throughout music. We have it in the symphonies. It's always in 3. It was a dance with an emphasis on the first beat, so I was like, oh, and you can just imagine people elegant and in great big dresses dancing around. The last movement is a jig, and it's in 6/8. And my friend, Jeff, when I was practicing this one day, we had a butterfly that you could strap on a baby. And he put it on his leg, and he danced all around the room while I was playing this. And I thought it was the most delightful thing ever. And I don't think I'll ever play this movement without imagining the butterfly going around. So this is the jig. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for everyone who promoted this and made it easy for me to do this. And are there any questions or anything that anybody is wondering about this cello or how it works or what's going on? I believe that Bach did play many string instruments, and he had to have understood the cello. He had to. There's just no way he could have written all of these suites without completely understanding the instrument. And I believe that he really understood what the cello was capable of. The 6th suite is insane, like just absolutely crazy. It's so technically difficult and wild. Yes?
You said it doesn't have, obviously it doesn't have frets, then how do you know?
It's just muscle memory, that's all it is. And the really hideous thing about the cello is that I could play this, and this difference, this is out of tune. Like that much difference. Like it's so sad. And that's why we have to practice so much, because.
That's why musicians are completely mad.
That's why, yeah. My son Miles said, you know, the cello never sounds in tune to me, just never. And I'm like, what? Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
That's actually part of what my question was, just what is hard for you? Like all the pieces that you've played, what's like, I guess, difficult for you to what's the most difficult piece that you could do as your favorite piece? Like, is it hard? Is it easy? You know, like,
Yeah, the Dvorak Concerto. Been working on it like years, still can't play it. The Bach 6th Suite, the 6th Suite, can't play it. Like, I just can't play it. I figure when I die and go to heaven, I will play the 6th Suite. I'll learn it then, but it's just too hard. I practice it, but I will never play it in public. It's just too difficult. And things that seem easy, like this piece, right? I play this every single day. It's like prayer. It's like I never think about it. And as soon as somebody like gets their phone up or moves or something, I'm like I feel like someone's holding my arm and I can't move it, and I'm just like just paralyzed. And it's so much an issue of faith, and like just trusting, like I know this, I worked on this, I can do this, I can play it. It's a nice audience. If I forget or I screw up, it's okay. Like nothing will happen. Nobody will die. It's all right. all the time. I'm still practicing all the time. And now I just try not to get worse. I think it's like when you go to the gym and you're older, you're not trying to get really fit, you're not trying to get your body, you're just trying not to decline completely, like just trying to maintain something. And I just feel that way. But what I love about the cello is that I use it for celebration. I played in my niece's wedding. I played for my late husband when he died as they were taking his body away, and same with my father, that it's for everything, and it's always Bach. It's always Bach that I go to, is it for grief or for it's everything. It's just all the emotions, and I'm so happy that I can express it in that way.
You ever played the pasta?
My brothers can play a lot of pop music, and they can write songs, and they can improvise, and they can play by ear. And I'm always, somebody write me a part, write me something, because I'm way over classically trained and I can't make things up. My brother can do that. Yeah, he can. I can play like a little, maybe a bass line, like something like that. Yes, but not really. And when Willie first heard, my husband, when he first heard me play the cello, he was in another room and he came in and he just looked at me and he said, "The cello is so sad." And I just felt terrible. And so I'm always trying to look for something that isn't such a downer. Yeah. And I like Irish folk tunes, something like that. But I just grew up with music everywhere. My parents were always singing, and we sang in the car. We have, my mom told me a story that when I was 2 or something, I was in the grocery cart, and I was just singing away in the grocery store. And the woman said, "She'll soon find out there's nothing in this world to sing about." and then my mother's friend said, "She is a Harper, and she will be singing for her whole life." So I love it. If you would like to come and look at the pictures and ask me anything you want about it, I brought the things from Yo-Yo Ma because I'm not a proud person, but I'm extremely proud about one thing that I did in my life, which is when Yo-Yo Ma came to play with the symphony, I got the idea, all myself, just me, of all my cello art, and my brother Steve's cello art, and my friend Rebecca, and so many of my friends are cellists and artists, and we could bring all of that art together when he comes, and we could have it at the symphony, and it would just be all around, and the whole audience could see it, and it would be when you walk in, and my brother Ben works for the symphony. It was this is so gonna be the best thing ever. And I told my brother Ben, and I told his boss Celia, and it was this is gonna be amazing. And they said, no. No. We're not doing that. We're just not doing it. We're not gonna mess with Yo-Yo Ma. And they just didn't trust me. So, undeterred, I went to the Arts Council, because there's a place next door to the Sanger Theater. Not in the Sanger, but right next door. And I went to Lucy Gafford, and I said, there's one day that Yo-Yo Ma is playing one concert. I just need one day. Just give me one day. And she said, that place is booked for 1 year. There's no way. I cannot give you that. And I just stood there, and I just kept telling her, it's Yo-Yo Ma. It's Yo-Yo Ma. It's 1 day. I'll do everything. I'll clean it up. I'll take everything out, and I'll put it all back in again. I'll do anything, everything. And finally, she just was sick of me. and finally, she just said, okay, look, I'm going to give you 1 week. I'm going to take everything out of there. We'll take it all out, but it's your show. And she didn't know me from anybody. I'd never met her before. She didn't know me at all. But I was just so like I was so sure it had to be. And she really felt it. And she said, I'll give you 1 week, but you choose all the art, you choose everything, you do the whole show. It's all you. So I did it, and I brought this art, and I made a chair for Yo-Yo Ma with collage of him and his life and him playing when he was 4, and just like everything precious. And I wrote a little thing about him when I saw him play at the Hollywood Bowl, and he played all 6 suites. And my husband was so sick at home, but he was like, you have to go, you have to go. And I sat there for 4 hours watching him and just crying and crying. And it was like, it just moved me so much. It was such a beautiful thing. And so we put all this art in there, and my brother was still like, really, like, yeah, okay, okay, I don't want to have anything to do with this, right? This is like nothing to do with this. Don't use the symphony's name. Like, don't use us, right? And don't even tell Yo-Yo Ma. He's not going to come to your show, and we're not going to tell him that you have a show, right? He's not going to know because you don't mess with Yo-Yo Ma. Well, apparently he had a contract where it was like no photos and don't talk to him and don't, like the very formal kind of. And so Ben was respectful of of not wanting to step on any toes. And I said, can I put my chair that I made for him in his dressing room? Can I just take that chair in there? Like, it would be so delightful for him to see that, right? And he said, no. No, he wouldn't let me do it. And I was just in tears. So I was like, all right. So I put it in the show. So the whole show was there. Apparently, Yo-Yo Ma, on his way to rehearsal, walked by and saw the show through the window. So as we're rehearsing, he plays his piece and he leaves. And then he says to my brother Ben, Yo-Yo Ma, hey, I'd like to see the art show next door. Can you take me? So my brother Ben and his boss, Celia, together, the two of them, go take Yo-Yo Ma to my show. He sees my little picture there. He says, go get my cello. He wants to sit down, but there's no chair. And then Ben says, the chair, where's the chair? And he runs around, he finds the chair, he brings it. Yo-Yo Ma sits on it, probably stuck to it because it was probably still with Mod Podge glue wet on it. And he sat in front of my painting, and he played. Well, my brother got all the credit for my show. And then he looked at my brother like, are you going to film this? And my brother, who's the photographer for this symphony and on top of everything else he does, and had signed a contract that they would not take any pictures of Yo-Yo Ma, but Yo-Yo Ma was commanding him to do it. So he filmed it in front of my painting and got it. And it was like amazing. It was just amazing for Ben and Celia. So there was one other person there. And it was a woman who had come from the Poets of Tolmanville to see my show. And when I go to Tolmanville, I play Bach for the poets sometimes. So she texts me and she says, there's a man in here playing your song. And then she said, he wanted a selfie with me. So she sent me a picture of herself with Yo-Yo Ma. A selfie, she had no idea who he was. And he must have just laughed so hard at the whole thing. And then afterwards, Ben said to me, we hated your idea and we didn't want you to do it, but we're so happy that you did it. And it was great. And then at the very end of the symphony, and I was sitting last chair, and I was just, after Yo-Yo Ma played, and he walked up and he came back to the last chair and he gave me a big hug, and he said, I love what you did. And I was like, okay. Yeah. So then I was just just like, I can die happy now. I'm just like, it was like it all just came together, everything. And seeing all of my friends there with their art, I had like 16 different friends who made cello art, and seeing everything that they did, and seeing my brother with his cello, and just my 3 brothers. So I have this brother who wasn't there. I have my brother Ben, who was, crabby, but then came around. And then my brother Steve, who was a cellist too, and an artist, who was able to have all his things up too. So that's my story. Thank you so much for sharing it with me. Thank you for being here. It means a lot to me. I get married in this church pretty often, so I feel I feel very connected to this church. Yeah. Whenever I get a chance, I get married here. Yeah. My brother Andy walked me down the aisle. 4 years ago. Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Anybody that's interested in sport, I mean, you can't go wrong with Bach, and you listen to stuff you do with Bach comparing.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. What's your name?
Andy Mitchell.
You're Andy Mitchell. Nice to meet you. Andy's our favorite name, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
They never had to wash dishes every time.
That's right, yeah. Yeah. So feel free to come. You can look at this music and see what I was playing, if you like to. You can come here. How about everybody come and just look at stuff. Come look around. Look at these things. And I'll just keep playing a little bit, but just walk around. Look around.